Well, hello everybody out there and welcome to another random video. And today's video is going to be Minidisc related again. So I just looked through my old videos and I realized for some reason I never really made a real proper video about my only high MD recorder. So that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. So in the past, Minidisc evolved a little bit. I mean, there were different ways how to record a Minidisc. The 8-track version, so the recording format got better and better over time. Then you could also record in LP2 and LP4, which gave you more recording time per disc, but at a lower recording quality. But when it comes to the discs, the only thing that changed was the size or the length of the disc. So first it started off with 60-minute discs, then later came the 74-minute discs, then last but not least the 80-minute discs. So those are just all normal mini discs and they are compatible with all Minidisc devices. So you can use an 80-minute disc in, let's say, the SONY MZ-NH600, which happens to be the very first Minidisc recorder ever. But then came the high MD. Yeah, the difference between this is a normal 80-minute disc holds up to, let me see, 291 megabyte. And a high MD disc apparently up to 1 gigabyte. Now this is kind of like a difference, like the same difference between DVD and Blu-ray. So high MD discs are really completely different discs and they aren't compatible with non-high MD devices. So yeah, that's that. So the device that I want to show you today is this one right here. This is the SONY MZ-NH600 and it happens to be the very first high MD device ever. So if you want to buy, by the way, ignore this sticker, I just put it there for fun. If you want to buy this device, you have to be quite careful if you want to buy it, to not buy the wrong one, because apparently there are two different versions of this device. There is the NH600 as well as the NH600D, and the difference between those two versions is that the D version has no line in. Yeah. So the only way to get music onto your mini disc with the D version is through the USB port and Sonic Stage. So yeah, no real-time recording with the D version. But this is the normal NH600, so therefore we have the optical line in. And we also have, you just saw the USB port. Here we have the headphone connection with a little connection for one of those wired remote controls. This is the opening mechanism, nothing on this side, and here we have the connection for the power adapter. And what I like about this one is the fact that it uses normal AA batteries instead of those gum stick batteries. So yeah, I do have to say that I didn't really use this device very often because, as you could tell, one thing that this device is missing is a proper line out. And that's why I never really used it that much, because what's the point in using a device that has no proper line out? Because I do have to say the headphone output on this one just sucks. It just sounds absolutely lifeless for some reason. So when I compare that to all my other Minidisc Walkmans, they all sound better than this one. I'm just not satisfied with this. But yeah, this is also a problem with high-MD devices for some reason. I think they tried to reduce the costs for those devices, and that's why they got rid of the line out. As of right now, I only know of 3 Minidisc or high-MD Walkmans that have a proper line out. That's the Sony MZ-NH600, the MZ-NH600, and the MZ-NH600. And the crazy thing about the NH1 and the NH900 is the fact that you don't have a separate line out because the headphone output also functions as the line out, which is also something that I've never seen on other standard Minidisc Walkmans. So with the NH1 and the NH900, you have to switch it in the menu to change between headphone and line out. So I don't know how good or bad the sound quality of the line out port really is. But maybe in another video, maybe I will get to this. So yeah, this is the NH600. So here we have the T mark button, which also functions as the rec button. Now you can push this and play to start recording directly, or you can push this and the pause button to go into rec pause mode. Then the stop button, which is also the cancel button. Then this button functions as the navigation and the menu button. We have the group button right here. We have the wheel to select different things. Then this button, we can use it as the enter button as well as the play button. So you push it, but you can also push it up to change the volume, and left and right. So as you can see right now, there is no disc inside. So let's just put a disc inside. So some people, by the way, some people probably think, okay, there is no real use for a high-MD recorder if you don't have the high-MD discs or the high-MDs, because they are pretty rare and hard to find, and if you find them, they are really, really expensive. So therefore some people think, oh, getting a high-MD recorder isn't really for me because those high-MDs are just too expensive. But you can still use normal mini discs with a high-MD recorder, and the good thing is that you can record them in high-MD mode, which kind of turns your normal mini disc into a small high-MD. So this way you get more recording time without any quality loss, or without any significant quality loss. Because if you record in high-MD mode, instead of using 8-track 3 or 8-track DSP, it uses 8-track 3 Plus, which has a better compression, and therefore you get more music at the same quality. So yeah, let's just take a look at all the different features or functions. So the thing that I don't like about this high-MD recorder is the fact that it is really it looks incredibly cheap. I mean, it's one of the very few Sony Minidisc Walkmans that is entirely made of plastic. Usually they're made of some kind of aluminum or something like that. But yeah, this one just isn't. So here we have a disc. So this is a normal mini disc that I have recorded in high-MD mode. So that's why I have 2 hours and 11 minutes on this 80-minute disc. And it still is, as you can tell right here, the standard SP mode. So this is the cool thing about high-MD recorders, that you can record more on a normal mini disc. So I don't know how much the quality suffers. I know that the compression rate of A-Track 3 Plus is supposed to be better, but also the bit rate is different, or the sampling rate is different. So a normal mini disc in normal SP mode is using 292 kilobit per second, and a high MD in standard SP mode uses 256 kilobit per second, but it still is better than 132 kilobit per second in the normal in the normal LP mode. So yeah, what can we do? We can use the wheel to scroll through the different tracks, and then we can push enter to play these tracks. Then it shows you the title of the tracks, or the title of the track that you are playing. And then when it's gone through this, it will also show you the artist. But in this case, I didn't really use the artist's name, so because the entire disc consists of music of the same artist or of the same group, so therefore there was no need to use or to assign a specific artist to each track. So this is the symbol that shows you that it would show the artist's name right now. So when we push the navigation button once, we can choose how we want to navigate through the mini disc. So normal is just a normal way how you normally go through a mini disc, which means that all the titles, all the tracks are in the order that you recorded them or how you rearranged them. But if you use group, you can also cycle through the different groups. So for some reason you can create groups, which is kind of like a folder, so to say. So if you organize your music on your computer, you probably have this music in various different folders. So that's what a group is. Or you can also use artists, so you can search for different songs from specific artists. Or you can also use album. So here I have the names of the different albums, but I didn't really record the entire albums because this is kind of like my best of mini disc, so my best of Halo Manish right now. So I just recorded what album what song is from, and now I can choose if I want to listen to just the songs from just this album or just this album. So it's really up to you. But there's also bookmarks. Yeah, so you can apparently also bookmark various different tracks so that it only plays those bookmarked tracks. So it is a little bit confusing because you have group and then you also have bookmark. I don't know. To me it's almost the same, but it isn't. So if we push and hold the navigation button, we go right here. So first we have edit, so we push enter. Now we can put in the titles. If we push enter again, we can title the track. We can title a group if we would have one. We can title the artist or the album, what this track is from. And you can also title the entire disc. Now if we go back, we can set groups or we can release groups. And of course, like on every other mini disc, we can move tracks around, we can erase tracks, and we can format the entire disc, but this only works with the high MD mode. It doesn't work with the normal mini disc mode. Now let's go back. We can also change the display, so we can change what it is supposed to show us when we play the mini disc. So this is the elapsed time, the remaining recording time, the all remaining time. We can choose whether or not it should show us title 1 or title 2. And with sound, right now it's normal. But yeah, you can also customize the equalizer, and you can change what kind of equalizer it should use. So that's the thing with the display. Sub P mode. What exactly was sub P mode? Oh yeah, this is just a normal how you want to play the mini disc. Normal, repeat just one track, or use the shuffle mode, or A and B repeat. So that's that. Then we have sound. So in sound we can have normal, or we can use the equalizer. And with equalizer you have two customized equalizers that you can customize yourself. And then we have a preset equalizer for heavy or for pop and jazz. And I don't know why it says unique, but yeah, you can select that. I want to use normal. And then useful. I think useful also had something to do with the sound, but I don't really know for sure. Then rack set, we can change the rack mode. So we can, because we are right now in high MD mode, we can only select lossless PCM or the standard high SP mode and high LP. We can change the rack volume. We can't set it right now because we are not in rack pause mode. Then time mark. So time mark means that it automatically sets a track mark, I believe, every 5 minutes or so. Here we can select if the new recording is already supposed to be a new group. And we can also turn sync rack on and off. So now let's go to option. So here we have the menu mode, advanced or simple. So it just shows you some options that aren't really shown in the symbol mode. AVLS, which kind of limits the volume of the headphone output to protect your ears. The beeping, which is the beeping sound that you can turn on and off. Now there was also disc mem. So disc mem basically means that you can save different settings for specific mini discs. So like for example, you can save, I think, the bookmarks. You can save the bookmarks for a specific disc, and you can also save the customized equalizer. So if you customize one of those two equalizers, you can save what kind of equalizer or what kind of setting, what kind of equalizer setting to use with this specific disc. And it will also automatically do that. Quick mode basically, well, it's kind of like kind of like a standby mode of the Minidisc Walkman, which gives you the ability to start and play a Minidisc a little bit faster instead of when you haven't turned off. Disc mode, this is where you can change between normal Minidisc mode and high MD mode, but of course you can only change that if you have a normal Minidisc, because if you use high MDs it will always be high MD mode. Contrast, you can change the contrast of the display. Goes back there. Options, disc mode, contrast, and jog dial. So you can change which way it's supposed to go. You can choose default or reversed. I thought there was also some kind of other option where you can save all the settings that you did on the device itself, but yeah, somehow I couldn't find it right now. So yeah, let's just see and look what it looks like when you want to title a track. So right now we are playing track 1. So I push and hold the navigation button, go to edit, title the track. So now this is interesting. Now you can use either the wheel to scroll through the different characters, as you can see right here, and the pause button also changes between capital and normal. You can erase different characters or different letters if you push and hold the group button, and then you just push the knob into one direction, and then it erases the letter itself. But if you don't want to use the wheel to scroll or cycle through the different characters, you can also use the knob and you can select the characters directly down here. Then we also have the numbers and all those different symbols and signs and whatsoever. And by the way, if you are in high MD mode, you have definitely more characters available than in normal Minidisc mode. So you can see there are quite a lot of options available. Now you just push stop if you don't want to use this function again, if you want to go back to this one, and then you just title your tracks. So it's very easy, very straightforward. So yeah, you can also change, wait a second. Yeah, with display, you can also change title 1 and title 2. So you can change what it's supposed to show. So here you can see that it shows you the artist, it shows you the title of the disc as well, or the title of the album, not the disc, and the track. So you can change various different things. Now there are a little bit more options available if you use Sonic Stage and the USB port, but I don't have Sonic Stage as of right now. So what else is there to talk about? So if you want to record a standard Minidisc in high MD mode, we already established that it gives you more recording time. So if you record an 80-minute disc in high MD mode, you get, let me see, 2 hours, roughly something like 2 hours and 20 minutes on a standard 80-minute disc, which is a little bit less than the LP2 mode in standard Minidisc mode, which would give you 2 hours and 40 minutes. But if you are in high MD mode, you get a better recording quality because it uses 256 kilobit per second instead of just 132 kilobit per second. So it is definitely better than LP2 in standard Minidisc mode. And yeah, that's basically it. I hope I haven't forgot anything. And yeah, this is my video about the SONY MZ-NH600. There are more Minidisc videos coming up in the future, and also other random videos depending on, yeah, what comes next. I don't know. It's going to be quite random. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next random video. Bye!